Hello, this is Game Wolf, a real-life glass cannon. Welcome back to Hexen. I am a guy playing the video game. That is Hexen. We are still the mage. The mage will live on in our hearts. And our brains will be like brains. We're going to clean up the chapels today. I say today, but every video is like a new day. Sort of. Not quite. How's yours all's today's? Things are looking up. I've learned that if I go under an operation, I just get, well, my body overreacts to everything. I'm a real-life glass cannon. It sucks. I mean, it sucks and it rules, but, you know, you gotta learn that everybody's an actor in some way. Unless you're decidedly average, in which case you're boring. But at least you're easy to understand. I don't know what causes that crater to spawn there, by the way, but I'm glad that it did. I can understand something spawning within there, but I don't know what happened to make that happen. If you find out, let me know. That's one of those special optional things that just happens inexplicably. Although it could have something to do with one of the switches pushed in one of the other chapels. I can't think of what else it would be. Yeah, if we rewatch the footage, maybe we can find out. Based on the other two classes that I played. But yeah, again. There was some slowdown, as I'm getting used to. Basically, it's a case of, what if I'm not at my 100% best, and I want to not record? It's like, no, because that could be weeks at a time, and that's what I was debating. But it's okay, I got all goods to the woods to. Gonna get electrocuted and freeze the mage with my hands. My hands that freeze him very well. Prepare to die with my magic flying powers. If I had the wings of Raph, I would do that. It's easy to understand why you don't really get wings of Raph that much, because it would just break the entirety of the makeup of the game. Frankly, I don't know if they should have ever added the rings of Wrath, like, flying in a first-person shooter. Like, unless you're, like, playing something like Descent, maybe you shouldn't. Magic man, he's got the magic, tragic plan. Friendship is tragic. See those pixels over there? I see them move, they get shot. I just know he's there. I just remembered him shooting projectiles possibly. Unless that was an edit and I'm shooting far away, which is kind of a waste. But it's not like I was using anything important, so that's fine. So much to do. So much to see. All about that magic streets. Okay, it wasn't an edit. It was the slaughter. Fuck 'em. Come on, get fooked in the nuke. In the Tom Nuke. Tom Nuke is just a way of saying Tanuki. So, there. Haha. Blasted. Blasting makes me feel blasted. Like the blasting. Oh, hey, it's you guys again. That's the only way to deal with that. Just blood scourge. Nearly all of them. That was surprisingly effective. I was expecting to just hit a couple. But no, it just hit the whole group. That's a really good way to use that. When they're all next to each other, as long as they're connected like a chain, it's probably your best chance. Although, like I said, the trajectory, the way it turns, this damn thing. I don't know. You guys can be comfortable with it. I think it's higher damaging than the Holy Ghosts, though. So, yeah. I take back what I said about the Blood Scourge. While the Rayford is better at aiming, I think the Blood Scourge actually does more damage. Which means you have to figure out how to aim it to compensate. And well, of course, the fighter's super weapon is very powerful at close range, as it should be. So it all works out. I've got all these discs that I don't use. Well, there hasn't been shit to knock off of them. I guess there'd be some cliffs or whatnot. Really not enough sumo going on in Hexen for me to care. But who knows, maybe I'll use them more, maybe I'll use them less. I confess that I have not used them in a good while. You've gotta shoot him, do. Well, let us all see this dragon. I like seeing the moving walls on the map. It's very peculiar because the map has to do extra work every second of every frame of every 60 frames of every second. I think 60 frames a second works good because, you know, 60 seconds to a minute, so it's like what comes after the second. Like, we need a unit of measurement in which 60 of them equal a second to comply with how the Sumerians make time measured. Like you ancient Sumerians, let us use that Stonehenge maybe. Far across the continent, if you ever come over, baby. Dragons. Don't know about you guys, but dragons. Dragons. Well, that did a little something or some whatnot that I should know. Now the flechettes, that's what's up. Always gotta have flechettes. Oh, it's the filler weapon of a century. The voice of a new generation, flechette. New flechette, and flechette classic. I know, I'm mixing my soda ads. Yeah, that reminds me. Hey, mix a Coke with a Pepsi. Tell me how it tastes. Probably not too different. It's almost like they're similar in okay, they're actually different flavor, honestly, but I mean, like, they're similar enough and that they're colas, and it's just, well, how different does a cola need to be from another cola? What's the recipe? Like, when you think of something Pepsi flavored versus Coca-Cola flavored, how do you distinguish that in your mind? Because I can't really find the words. Well, he's getting shot up here at Timbuktu, going to Albuquerque. Shot in the double head. The double head instead. That's what we do best at NME with the money back guarantee. Oh, we're not playing Kirby. I suppose it could be. Was it with Al and just being like, okay, I have a shit ton of Kirby Mania games. Release! Sure, do that. I feel bad for Kirby fighters though, because I kind of prefer that weird RPG thing they had instead, which is really just Monster Hunter, but you're Kirby. Yeah. 1/9 of the puzzle. 1/9 of the puzzle. That's what has been solved. Candles on the wall. Honest-airy ways of life. We've got one more switch in one more place. Let us go. You hear that? That means I get to go down the stairs finally. At longest of lasts, I get to go down the stairs. Too bad this means... Wait, this is the Griffin Chapel. Oh. So, this is the least exciting part of the Griffin Chapel. According to myself. Whoops. Just laser him in the head until it deserves it. Ooh. Sorry, I feel like I had some sleep problem. That's just because the daylight savings time has been turned off and I have not adjusted. But it's okay. I go through this every year, but I also suggest, do we really need daylight savings time anymore? Like, was the point just to have the light on at certain... Like, was the idea just to have business hours lined up with farming times? Because, you know, farmers kind of fucking do their work very early in the morning. So I don't know how much that matters, you know. Like, yeah. It's not something you think about, but then what about everyone who works at, like, different shifts? Like, what meaning does daylight savings time have to you? Like, what if you work at night, and then, you know, suddenly you gain there's an extra hour of work you have to do because you sleep during the day, and it's kind of weird and messed up. Kind of weird and messed up, green mama. At least I was able to break that window. I thought this would be a mage problem. Porkalicious. Porkalator brand barbecue for my bacon. Press button, receive bacon. What is it about bacon in particular, as opposed to any pork part? I find it amusing when you go to the butcher shop or something like that, you go in the meat section of your produce, and it's like, okay, here's the part of the animal you're eating from. It's like, okay. Looks like we're going for the underbelly. Alright, now you're getting the ass. It's like, now you're getting, like, the shoulder blades. It's like, okay. Like, I don't really know the taste difference between different parts of the body of the same damn animal. Unless you're like a weirdo who's eating cow tongues, in which case, get away from me. But I guess if it's got nutrients, I guess you'll just eat any dang thing, won't you? I suppose. But really, I don't even know if wild animals do that. We have the gall to eat the strangest things because of humanity and lack of sense or lack of instinct to hold us back from doing ridiculous things that have just popped up in our head, like some kind of DOS gaming place